A psychologist with early-onset Parkinson's saves a youngster in public, meets a detective while hanging out with sex workers down the bar, is promptly appointed as a consultant on a murder investigation, and then becomes the lead suspect. He's also played by Poldark. ITV's most recent glossy thriller, The Suspect, based on Michael Robotham's debut novel, is a semi-ridiculous, tropey, but twisty-turny ball of fun told across 5 weekly episodes. This London-set version presents Turner's Joe McLoughlin as a man with a flawless existence, much in the pattern of HBO dramas like The Undoing and Big Little Lies, where we take pleasure in seeing attractive people with aspirational lives get their comeuppance. He's a great psychologist with his own private practice, many books that are still selling well, and a new one on the way concerning homicide among sex workers. Needless to say, he has a lovely wife and a devoted daughter, and after brilliantly and implausibly preventing a 17-year-old terminally ill patient from jumping from the 10th story of the hospital where he works, he's become a minor national celebrity. So when a young lady is discovered stabbed to death and half buried in a graveyard by the police at the same time Joe and his family are having a leaf battle in said graveyard, and it turns out the victim was a past patient of Joe's, and also applied to work for him just recently and accused him of sexual assault in the past, it's looking a wee bit sus to say the least. To be fair, Joe isn't doing himself any favors here. After being escorted to the morgue to examine the body, Joe is brought in as a consultant following his chance meeting with young Detective Divvy. He not only fails to reveal that he knows who she is, but he also memorizes the door code, sneaks back in when the officers aren't looking, and then lies about it. But well-heeled homicide detective D.I. Ruiz isn't having it. He immediately detects the odor of a rat. Years of experience on the job have trained him to think like a criminal. But might Joe have learned the same principles through years of clinical psychology? It's pretty hackneyed stuff, sure, but that doesn't stop it from being enjoyable. The Suspect is a glossy production with plenty of talent behind and in front of the camera, including writer Peter Barry, who worked on the Ruth Rendell mysteries and Prime Suspect back in the day and more recently wrote episodes of Gangs of London. Based on our first taste, it feels ambitious and thrilling, if a little silly. Questions about whether Joe's recently discovered Parkinson's disease is to blame for his slightly erratic behavior will undoubtedly be raised as the program progresses. Interesting secondary characters are also likely to emerge. It's going to be essential for Joe to lead Dr. Fenwick, Joe's long-term friend and colleague, who has asked Joe to lead her down the aisle at her approaching wedding. Bobby Schofield, Joe's patient who assaulted a woman for pushing him in a cab, will undoubtedly return. Then there's the drama of Joe's marriage to Julian, which will undoubtedly be jeopardized. And, of course, we'll be waiting for our cop duo's case in Mouse Pursuit. We've seen many variations of this sort of thing, but there is a pleasure in familiarity, and we have no doubt the Suspect will come up with plenty of hefty rug pulls as the plot develops. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe and give us a like.